We watched that documentary last night. That shit blew my mind. Like,
We watched a documentary on, well, which one? The
Hail Satan.
Hell Satan one?
Yeah.
Is that the name of it?
Hail Satan? Question mark.
It's a good documentary.
It's a great documentary.
If you can go into it with an open mind, depending on who you are.
You have to have a filter.
Yeah.
You should be able to go do it with an open mind.
But it's funny how they're trolling the shit out of people.
Yeah,
it's hilarious.
All these, it's just, people just need to get along.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what background you're from, what your religious affiliation is, what credo you live by. Like, at the end of the day, whatever that foundation is that you reside in, whether it be Christianity, Catholicism, Buddhism, atheism, Satanism, any of them, all of these things, their groundwork and their foundation is treat each other in an equal way.
Yeah.
So if you're getting mad at another group because they're not who you are, you're just violating the foundation of your creed anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The foundation of whatever it is you're founded on. And so it's pretty easy, you know. You just call it the golden rule, call it whatever you want to call it whatever you want to call it, but just treat others the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Like, if you want people to treat you nicely, then it doesn't matter what group people come from, then you should treat them the same.
Yeah.
If someone wants to do harm or violence to you, that's a whole nother story. And there's groups and there's people out there that are like that, and they don't deserve the respect and love and compassion you have for everybody else. Don't give it to them. But if people are just out there and they don't believe in the exact things you believe in, but they're not violent and they're not out there to hurt you or harm you, then just let them live their lives and don't get so bent out of shape about it. And I mean, it blows my mind that people aren't able to filter that out of their own happiness. And you can see it reflected in the way they live their lives. They're just not happy people.
Yeah. Or in this, like in the documentary's case, is the people's misunderstanding of separation of church and state.
Right.
And they want it, but only if it's like their religion's still included.
Yeah, only if it aligns with their beliefs.
Yeah.
And then,
which is
what's the
not
point
the
point of separation of church
Exactly.
and state if you need to align it with your religious beliefs?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, there's no separation. It's that it's hard to sit there and watch. You're watching these people say these things. It's like, do you even, like, you're sitting there as a politician and you're harping on these ideologies that are written out in the Constitution, and you're saying you understand them, but you, at the same time, you're saying, like, it has to be a Christian state or Catholic state. It's like, dude, just relax. It doesn't have to be. Like, if you want to be a politician, great, be a politician. If you want to be a pastor, great, be a pastor. But at the end of the day, I don't think we want to be governed by people that are hell-bent on these secular views. It doesn't make any sense. It's not. It's not open-minded.
Yeah, I would say my sort of filter for religion and stuff of that nature is like, don't tell me how to live my life, and like, don't fuck with other people.
Exactly.
And don't tell them how to live their life, or like, especially don't fuck with kids. Like, is that hard? Like,
I know an organization that got really good at fucking with kids, and they still sit on their high horse and try to tell everybody else how to live their lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that alone should be enough reason to just shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sit back with the history that has been uncovered recently and act like you're high and mighty and you can just be forgiven for all of your sins. Like, you can't tell me I've been living my life wrong, and then everybody in your parish and organization's going off fucking 14-year-old boys. Like, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
Like, we're all on the same big rotating ball. I don't care who your God is. I don't care that it says, in God we trust. It doesn't specify what God.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, it's an extremely important thing to look at and have an open mind about. And I just feel like a lot of people don't.
Well, a lot of people can't manage their output. They just want to shove whatever they have in their heart onto everybody instead of just providing it out there for the opportunity for people to take it in. A lot of people think, well, I believe this thing this way, so everybody else should too.
And it's weird how I look back in that, and I look back at that thought process, and it's hard to understand where that comes from. Like, why do people think that everybody has to think the same way that they think?
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time, like when you're young, when you're a kid and you're growing up, and you hear your parents saying things, and you hear your coaches and the people that are older than you, that are your mentors, saying things, and you're not really developing your own thoughts. You're like, oh, yeah, what they say, that makes sense. But then you start to develop your own thoughts, and you get older, and then you experience real things in life, whether that be going to school or traveling or war, going to war and doing all sorts of things. You start to develop your own thoughts, and then you kind of sit back and you realize, all these people who are saying all these things and trying to get me to think that way, like, I don't understand why they're trying to force that on me. Maybe they haven't seen the shit I've seen. Maybe they haven't done the things I've done in my life. And having spent so much time with guys that have done the things I've done and gals that have done the things I've done, you see those people who are like, fuck what those people are saying. You see these free thinkers and these people starting to do their own thing, and those are the people that I've congregated to, and that's what my filter has created. It's created this group of people that I want to be around that aren't tied to these people and these beliefs that think, oh, there's one way to do these things. You have to do it my way. Because they know, like, you and I could easily disagree on something.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't matter because we've seen enough shit, and we know we don't have enough time on this planet to let that, like, deteriorate our friendship or deteriorate the things that make us happy.
Yeah, to have, like, lines in the sand.
Right. And there's so many people out there, it just ruins their lives. They let it ruin their lives or completely drive and guide their lives, and that in itself will ruin their lives, whether they realize it or not. And it's sad to see, and as I got older and grew out of that phase where the people I saw were who I thought I was supposed to be listening to experiencing my own things in my life, that's when I realized, no, I don't need to. If you think that's that way, that's fine, but it's not.
Yeah.
Stop trying to force it on me, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, maybe that's where I got my anti-government, anti-authoritative, anti-everything mentality. But I spent a lot of fucking time in my life having people tell me the way I need to fucking do things, and it made me extremely unhappy.
Yeah.
Like, very, very fucking unhappy. When I started realizing I don't need to listen to the shit they're saying, and I can just figure things out on my own and take the good with the bad and learn from my own mistakes and believe in the things I believe, I'd be a lot more happy.
Yeah.